faced, probably the scariest charge I've ever faced, was from two male lions who are part of a pride of lions in the Kruger National Park, who are quite famous for man-eating. And so what happened is we were tracking the mountain pride. There was a Nat.Geo documentary made on them when they were called the Mega Pride. And Glass Maramane, who was my tracker at the time, him and I parked the vehicle, set off after the tracks. Now there's a very simple rule when you're dealing with lions on foot. Noisy lion, safe lion. Quiet lion, dangerous lion. So if a lion's snarling, growling, slapping the ground, it's telling you too close, go away. A lion comes quickly, it's a different story. So Glass and I went through a little river system like this, following the tracks. We came out to a big flat open area on the other side, and we spotted the lions. And normally when you spot the lions at a distance, they're about 80 meters away, they normally lift their heads up, growl, maybe try to sneak away. But they had some new males in that pride who had come up from northern Kruger, where there are areas very famous for man-eating of Mozambican immigrants trying to cross into South Africa. And these two males got up and they just came straight, not a sound. And my tracker, Glass, he said, shoot them. I, of course, did not want to shoot a lion inside a national park. So I said, throw rocks at them was my reply. We stood our ground and we started shouting. We might have used some bad words while we were shouting at this point. And those male lions stopped. I don't know. So those male lions stopped. We were standing about here. So this is where we're standing. 1, 2, 3. That's where the male lions stopped. And as they stopped, I mean, they're coming at about 90 kilometers an hour. You just imagine that stop. All that dirt and stuff just whacked into us, this cloud of dust. I had the rifle loaded and low, and Glass was standing next to me, picking up any little bit of rock and throwing at them. So the most important thing is not to run in those situations. If we had run, we would have been eaten, and put it that way. And when you carry a rifle, if an animal really wants to hurt you, you don't have any time to do anything. I mean, the only reason I had time to chamber around is because they stopped. If they'd kept coming, I would have been halfway through loading the rifle and I would have been bowled over. The only reason we survived is because we didn't run. It took us about half an hour to get out of that situation. So if you work with a tracker, and a very good tracker, you've got to have incredible trust. So I've got a loaded rifle up against my shoulder like this. What he does is he slips his finger through the back of your belt and he leads you backwards. So you can't take your eyes off the lion, and in case you step over a log or whatnot, he'll warn you. And so it took us about 20 minutes. Every time we'd take a step, they would go, boo! And this was all going on. The guests were not that far away. They were probably about 100 meters away. Can you imagine you're on your first African safari from America, and all you can hear is your guide screaming, "What's that?" Beep, 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 beep. And someone else shouting in some African language, and the lion's going, "Bah!" So we had earpieces at Singita like this. So the one lady grabs the radio and goes, oh my God, my ranger's been eaten by a lion." Of course, now she doesn't know why no one's answering her, because all the sound's coming through here. And there was complete panic. Vehicles start driving from all over the reserve up to the north where we were. And by about 20 minutes, we got back there. Completely fine. Absolutely, both of us, Glass and myself, were 100% fine. And then I unloaded the rifle, pushed the rounds back, made the rifle safe, put the rifle back in the gun rack, and then my hands just started going, and I was trying to get into the car, and I kept doing this. I could not, and Glass was doing the same thing on the other side. But that was probably the scariest lion charge I've ever faced, because it started off quietly. But the wonderful thing about those situations is you learn so much from them.